Have you ever laughed at someone simply because they seemed different? In a quiet mountain village, an old monk became the target of endless jokes. Children copied his slow walk, merchants whispered behind his back. Travelers called him foolish because he owned almost nothing and never defended himself. Day after day, the laughter grew louder. Yet the monk always answered with the same gentle smile. The villagers believed silence was weakness. But one ordinary morning, something happened that no one expected. Before the sun set that evening, the same people who had mocked the old monk stood speechless, questioning everything they thought they knew about strength, respect, and true wisdom. The lesson they learned that day has been passed down through generations, becoming one of the most unforgettable wisdom stories about patience, kindness, and the quiet power of a peaceful heart. The old monk's name was Master Liang. He was 78 years old and had lived in a small stone monastery overlooking the valley for as long as anyone could remember. His white hair and long beard reflected the passing years, but his bright eyes carried a calm that seemed untouched by time. Master Liang owned only a few simple robes, a wooden walking staff, a clay teacup, and a small vegetable garden. Every morning before sunrise, he swept the monastery path, watered the flowers, and welcomed anyone who wished to rest. He had no desire for wealth or praise. His greatest wish was simple: to leave every person he met feeling a little more peaceful than before. But many villagers misunderstood his quiet nature. Some believed he lacked courage because he never argued. Others thought he remained silent because he had nothing important to say. The children especially found amusement in following him through the village, laughing whenever he bowed politely instead of responding to their teasing. Master Liang never became angry. Instead, he smiled warmly, thanked them for their company, and continued walking. To the villagers, his silence looked like defeat. No one imagined it was actually his greatest strength.
Every morning, golden sunlight painted the mountain paths, while birds welcomed another peaceful day. Master Liang carried fresh vegetables from his garden to elderly neighbors who could no longer work. He quietly repaired broken fences, planted flowers beside lonely homes, and left baskets of fruit outside doors without waiting for thanks. Many people accepted his kindness. Few understood it. Some even mocked him more because they believed a wise man should seek honor instead of humble work. One afternoon, as he crossed the village square carrying a bucket of water, a wealthy merchant laughed loudly. "Look at the old monk," he shouted. "He spends his life serving everyone and owns nothing." The crowd chuckled. Master Liang simply placed the bucket down, bowed respectfully, and wished the merchant a peaceful day. His calm response only made the laughter grow. Watching from a nearby market stall was a young apprentice named June, only 17 years old. Unlike the others, June didn't laugh. He couldn't understand why someone treated so poorly could remain so peaceful. That question stayed with him long after everyone else had forgotten the moment. And within days, June would witness an event that would change his understanding of life forever. The next morning, June couldn't stop thinking about the old monk. He had watched many people react with anger when insulted. Some shouted, others demanded respect. But Master Liang had responded with nothing more than a gentle smile. June wanted to understand why. After finishing his work at the market, he climbed the winding stone path toward the small monastery. The peaceful garden welcomed him with blooming flowers, singing birds, and the quiet sound of water flowing through a narrow stream. Master Liang was sweeping fallen leaves beneath an old cherry tree. Without looking up, the monk smiled. "I was wondering when you would visit." June stopped in surprise. "You were expecting me?" The monk nodded gently. Questions often arrive before the person asking them. June felt both curious and confused. How could the old monk know why he had come? That simple sentence stayed in his mind, opening the first door to a journey he never expected. For several days, June returned to the monastery. He expected long speeches filled with ancient wisdom stories, hidden secrets, or difficult lessons. Instead, Master Liang asked him to help water flowers, prepare simple meals, sweep quiet pathways, and care for the small vegetable garden. At first, June felt disappointed. Is this really wisdom? He wondered. Back in the village, people continued mocking the monk. One afternoon, several young men deliberately blocked the monastery path. They laughed at Master Liang, called him weak, and even threw dry leaves into the garden he had carefully cleaned that morning. June clenched his fists, his heart filled with anger. He wanted to defend the old monk. He wanted to prove that kindness should never be mistaken for weakness. But Master Liang calmly picked up the scattered leaves without saying a single harsh word. Seeing this, June could no longer stay silent. "Master," he asked, "why do you allow them to treat you like this?" The monk looked toward the mountains without answering. Instead, he pointed quietly toward a peaceful lake resting below the hillside. "Come with me tomorrow," he said softly. "I have something to show you." Jun had no idea that this simple invitation would reveal the greatest life lessons he had ever learned. Early the next morning, the valley was covered in soft white mist. Master Liang and June walked silently toward the crystal-clear lake. The water reflected the mountains like a perfect mirror. The old monk picked up a small stone and gently dropped it into the calm water. Ripples spread across the lake, slowly breaking the beautiful reflection. The monk waited patiently until the water became still again. Then he asked, "Tell me, June, did the sky ever change?" June looked carefully. "No," he answered. "Only the water changed." Master Liang smiled. "So when people throw insults into your heart, are they changing who you are, or only disturbing your reflection?" June stood silently. For the first time, he realized the monk had never been protecting his pride. He had been protecting his peace. Yet, the greatest lesson was still waiting. What happened later that afternoon would leave the entire village speechless and forever change the way they saw the old monk. That afternoon, dark clouds gathered above the valley. A frightened horse suddenly broke free from a merchant's cart, racing wildly through the crowded village square. People screamed and ran in every direction. Baskets of fruit rolled across the road, and parents quickly pulled their children aside. Near the center of the square stood a little girl, frozen with fear. Without hesitation, Master Liang stepped forward. His movements were calm and steady. He didn't shout, he didn't chase the horse. Instead, he stood quietly, holding out his walking staff while speaking in a soft, gentle voice. To everyone's surprise, the frightened animal slowed down. Its breathing became calmer. Within moments, it stopped completely. The little girl ran safely into her mother's arms. The entire village fell silent. For the first time, no one laughed. The merchant who had mocked the monk the day before lowered his head in shame. June finally understood. The monk's greatest strength had never been physical power. It was the peace within him. That inner peace, built through years of patience and compassion, became stronger than fear itself. It was one of those unforgettable wisdom stories that revealed how true courage is often quiet. As the crowd gathered around, the merchant stepped forward with tears in his eyes. "Master Liang," he said softly, "why didn't you hate us after everything we said?" The old monk smiled with the same kindness he had always shown. "When someone offers you a gift," he asked gently, "and you choose not to accept it, who does the gift belong to?" The villagers looked at one another. "It remains with the person who offered it," June answered quietly. The monk nodded. "The same is true of anger, insults, and pride. If you refuse to carry them, they remain with the one who created them." In that simple moment, everyone understood. Respect is never won through arguments. It is earned through character. The villagers no longer saw an old man who stayed silent. They saw a man whose peaceful heart had become stronger than every harsh word. This story reminds us that the loudest voice is not always the strongest. Many of life's greatest life lessons come from choosing calm over conflict and kindness over revenge. True personal growth begins when we stop trying to win every argument and start protecting our inner peace. Real self-improvement is not about proving others wrong. It is about becoming someone whose actions speak louder than words. The greatest victories are often the ones that happen quietly within our own hearts. Have you ever been judged before people truly knew you? Have you ever chosen peace instead of arguing? What part of Master Liang's journey spoke to your heart the most? Perhaps today's inspirational story will stay with you the next time life gives you the choice between reacting with anger or responding with wisdom. If this story brought a moment of peace to your day, you're always welcome to return for more timeless journeys filled with wisdom stories, life lessons, and quiet inspiration. If you enjoyed this story, you can subscribe to our channel and continue exploring meaningful stories that inspire personal growth and self-improvement. If you'd like, feel free to leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments. Your reflections may encourage someone else on their own journey. Thank you for reading. We hope to see you again in another story. Wishing you peace, wisdom, and happiness wherever life leads you. And always remember, the strongest heart is not the one that wins every argument. It is the one that never loses its peace.